Hi friends, welcome to my channel, YiaYia's Heart Tarot. Today is August 31st, it's a Wednesday, and today I'll be bringing midweek messages. These are messages to assist you with any challenges you may be running into this week, to hopefully turn things around if you're having any difficulties, or at least help you navigate the best way to proceed with your week. Before we get started with the two groups that we'll be doing today, the two readings, I will go through the messages that I received in my preparatory meditation. So we'll go through that first. The first thing that I heard in my meditation was the song Dreamweaver. So I take that to mean that this week has the potential to make your dreams come true. This is a week that may set you on a path to changing your life, realizing your dreams, finding something special. So the next thing that I saw in my meditation was a mountain range, and then I heard the phrase, "touch the night sky." So I take that to mean that if you are met with seemingly insurmountable challenges this week, look to either your intuition or to your dreams for answers to these challenges. So again, look into your intuition or look to your dreams. And if you're looking to your intuition, whatever it is that the first thing that comes into your mind, regardless of how unlikely or unrelated it might seem, go with that and make sense of it within the situation that you're dealing. It actually may be something that will need to unfold over time for it to make sense. For instance, I was doing an intuition exercise one time, reading someone's aura, and I got a very strong picture of a suit of armor, which seemed really odd to me, but I went ahead and wrote it down along with all the other things that I was receiving that seemed more reasonable as I was reading this individual's aura. And when we related what we had felt and seen when we were doing the reading to each other, and I related that I had seen the suit of armor, she said, "Oh yes, my husband and I just took a cruise down the Danube River, and there were all sorts of castles that we went and toured, and they had suits of armor and all of the period items that went along with the castles." So it made sense to her. It made perfect sense to her when I mentioned it. So there may be things that might pop into your mind that seem to make no sense. Just write them down, and sometimes the best thing to do is to write them down and forget about them, and then suddenly something will pop up in your week that will make that thought make sense. So again, either look to your intuition, keep a bit of a journal, or look to your dreams. And again, a dream journal is very helpful. Sometimes dreams don't make any sense when you're thinking about them, but as you write them down, you'll realize what some of the symbols might mean. So if you're running into challenges that seem like you just can't overcome them, you can't figure something out, or you can't possibly make it work, look to your intuition or your dreams. And then the last thing that happened in my preparatory meditation was I got this very pleasant tingling under both eyes, sort of above my cheeks, under my eyes. And I took that to mean that there will be practical things that you see every day in your life that will suddenly and unexpectedly take on a new meaning this week, leading you to greater clarity, or leading you to an understanding or an epiphany, something along those lines. So things that you see every day that you just take for granted, something is going to take on a new meaning for you suddenly. Just out of the blue, you're going to see something differently than you ever have before, and that's going to help you through your week, give you some additional insights, give you some understanding of something that's been confusing you or you've been stuck about. Okay, so those were the messages that I got from the meditation. So today we'll be doing two groups. The first group is the Chalcopyrite or Peacock ore group. I'm not sure how well you can see this, but it has a beautiful metallic blue shimmer to it. And the second group, group number 2, is this velvet malachite. Also has a lovely chatoyancy to it, a really amazing, cool shimmer. So, group 1, Peacock ore or Chalcopyrite, and group 2 is velvet malachite. So take whatever time you need to decide which group speaks to you. However you do that process. If you need to pause the video, that's fine. Once you decide which group you'd like to listen to, the groups will be linked to timestamps in the description box below. Simply click on the timestamp that corresponds to your reading and it'll take you directly to the start of that reading. And I will see you there. Hi Group 1, this is your reading, the Chalcopyrite or Peacock ore. The reading that I'm going to be doing today, I've actually just written up this spread, and it's basically kind of a revision of the spread that I typically do for midweek. I wasn't entirely happy with that spread. I'm not sure I'm entirely happy with this one either, but we will give it a shot. Might be a little clunky, so if it is, I apologize if I need to sort of fill in some gaps along the way, but hopefully it'll work out all right. So the first question that we have for Spirit is, what opportunities are presenting to you this week, possibly disguised as challenges? So what opportunities are presenting themselves to Group 1 this week, Spirit? What opportunities that might be disguised as challenges are presenting to Group 1? Or how might these opportunities be presenting to them? Okay. All right. Well, interesting. We got the first card that we got is the Death card. It's sort of the ultimate card of opportunities. This card is basically saying that something's not working for you. It needs to be left behind. You need to let it go and make space for the next opportunity. So something this week is just really not working out very well. We got the 9 of Wands, and the 9 of Wands is a card of that you've really worked hard, and you have just pretty much burned yourself out. You're pretty much you've got nothing left. And so you've kind of stepped back from whatever it is that has created this situation that you are so drained and so just done. And so you're taking a step back, kind of taking a breather. You're in that space right now where you're finally resigned that you can't keep doing this. You're not really you've kind of come to the point where you're not going to fight it anymore. You have been convincing yourself that you can keep doing this. You need to keep doing this. Everything's fine. Whatever the story is that you've been telling yourself. But now you have finally reached the point where you're just saying, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't. Whether this is a job or a relationship, or just the way your life is in general. This could be with regard to some type of addiction that you might have, or it could be just how you're living your life. It could be whatever it is that you have just been fighting, trying to stick with, but it's just tearing you down. You have gotten to the point now, and actually both of these cards are saying this, you've gotten to the point now where you're just, you have realized you can't keep this up, and you're resigned to that. You are finally resigned to that. It's not just a thought in your head anymore. It is, you've given in. You have given in to the knowing that you can no longer do this. You have just accepted it. this is going to give you the opportunity to start something brand new. We've got the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords. So that means that there's going to be something new that will require your creativity as well as your intellect. Really, this is going to be just the total ball of wax. This new opportunity that's coming your way, or that you're going to make for yourself, is going to integrate the heart and the head in this endeavor. This is going to be something that's much more fulfilling than what you've been doing before, because it uses not only it's not just work for the sake of work. This is going to be something that lights a fire, and something that really requires you to think things through, and to think things through in a very imaginative way, or to try new things that are creative and imaginative. This is really dropping what this is that you've resigned yourself that you can no longer do, is really opening up. It's opening up you to the opportunity that you can do something that is much more fulfilling. Let's see. So thank you, Spirit, for that message. The next question we have is, how can Group 1 work with these challenges to best realize the opportunities that they hold? So Group 1, how can you best work with this situation to bring to light the opportunities, or to maximize the opportunities within this situation? How can Group 1 work within these challenges to optimize the opportunities that they hold? Okay, so we got Two of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. So the way that you can best work within this is you're going to have to show yourself some love. You're going to really, really have to show yourself some love until you can get balanced again. Self-care, just giving yourself some grace. Don't beat yourself up over having not been able to continue whatever it was that you were doing before. Because honestly, it's not worth beating yourself up over. It's not what you should have been doing. It's not worth your time. We're not put here on this earth to suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer just to get by. So the way to best optimize this situation is to show yourself some love, to really, really nurture yourself, give yourself some time, just do whatever self-care you need, and that's going to help you get balanced again. You've been so drained by this previous situation that you're just kind of running on empty. So you need to fill your tank back up, and the way to do that is, again, to show yourself some love, to treat yourself well, to be kind to yourself. And when you do that, that's going to rebalance your energy so that you've got some energy to move forward. So you're not just, you don't want to set out with this emptiness and this just exhaustion that you're dealing with now, or you may be dealing with anger, or you might be dealing with frustration. Whatever it is that this previous bad situation put upon you that you just couldn't tolerate anymore, don't start out this new endeavor with that. Show yourself some love. Take a little bit of time to get rebalanced, and that's the best way for you to move ahead with this, to optimize the opportunity that's inherent in this situation. So what is working against Group 1 this week, Spirit? Thank you for these messages. And what is working against Group 1 this week? King of Wands and the Knight of Swords. I feel like what this is saying is that trying to storm ahead without taking the time to sort of flesh out what it is you want now. And that doesn't have to be knowing every detail of what you want now, but what's not working for you is jumping right into something else right off the bat, before you've had a chance to really stop and say, okay, this really wasn't what I wanted. It's not working out. I know it was what came up and what I had to do at the time, or what I ended up doing at the time, and I thought it was going to be right, but it's just not. So these cards are telling you that what's not working, or what would not work for you, is to just jump right in without actually feeling into what is it that I really do want to do. I don't want to just jump back into the same thing all over again. You know, we all have these repeating patterns that we get stuck in that aren't good for us, and until we can see them, we can't break out. So what's not working for you is jumping right back in again without seeing the pattern, and without knowing what you do want, what would work for you, or at least what you hope for. So take some time to think about where you'd really like to be and where you'd like to go, instead of just jumping right in. Thank you for those messages, Spirit. And what is working in Group 1's favor this week? What is working in their favor this week? Okay. Oh my goodness. my goodness. We got the Star and we got the World. So what's working in your favor is knowing what that dream is. You have a dream. You have this deep down in your heart. You have this, I've always wanted to do X, Y, and Z. I've always wanted to travel, or I've always wanted to have my own bakery, or I've always wanted to be with someone who lights me up and supports everything I do. Or I've always wanted to drive a race car. Whatever it is, whatever this dream is that just will bring you the world. Knowing that you have that dream. Oh, what amazing cards these are. That's what's working in your favor. That's what's working in your favor this week, is knowing that you have this dream. And really, really tune into it. Really tune into that dream. It may be buried really deeply. You may have forgotten about it, in fact. But give yourself some time and pull that out again. Don't just look at it, but feel it. Feel it. And that's really going to really work in your favor for this opportunity that you have coming up. Spirit, thank you for that beautiful message. What is Group 1's intuition telling them about this situation? Group 1, what is your intuition telling you? Okay. So, your intuition is telling you to take your time with this. Don't rush in. We got the Knight of Pentacles, and Knights are typically about movement, but the Knight of Pentacles is more about protection. He will go out if he needs to, but mostly he is concerned with staying put and making sure that his people are safe. And then we got the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man is about taking some time and being patient. So your gut is telling you to protect yourself and be patient with this. Take your time, don't rush out, stay put. We also got the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is about leaving behind something that doesn't work for you. As well as the Nine of Swords. We got the Nine of Swords as well. And the Nine of Swords is something that has caused you a lot of pain. So, so your intuition is telling you that you need to leave behind this thing that has caused you so much pain. And we saw this in the first message here, but it's telling you again, this is what your gut knows. This is what your gut knows. Even before you got to that point where you're like, okay, I just can't do it anymore. Your gut knew that you needed to leave behind the situation that's just killing you. But it also knows that you don't want to just race on ahead and jump into the next thing, because it's not going to be any better than what you just left if you don't really give it any thought. So that's what your intuition is telling you. Thank you, Spirit, for that beautiful message. And what is the best way for Group 1 to proceed? What is the best way for Group 1 to proceed now? Okay. So we got the Eight of Pentacles and we got the Sun card. The Eight of Pentacles and the Sun card. So the best way for you to proceed with this, and we're just going over the same message again. We're getting all sorts of pentacles, which are all about material things, but they're also about stability. So the Eight of Pentacles, which is also about putting in what you want to get out. So the Eight of Pentacles and the Sun card are telling you that you need to know what makes you happy and live within what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. The Sun card is all about happiness, and the Eight of Pentacles is all about being solid and having the things around you that you've worked for. So this card is saying the way to proceed is to put in the work, and by putting in the work, that doesn't mean to jump in and start working at something else. What it means is to put in the inner work, to know what makes you happy. Do that work to feel that happiness, know where that comes from, and pursue that. That's what's going to be this opportunity, because, well, obviously, it'll make you happier to do what makes you happy. I mean, that's just common sense. That is the way it is. But the thing is, when we're happy, we generate happiness in others around us as well. So it's not just your happiness that's at stake here. It's also elevating the happiness of those around you, and they in turn elevate the happiness of those around them. So this is a ripple effect. So by doing this, by putting in the time and understanding what it is that truly makes you happy, and then working at that is going to be the way to really, really make this opportunity just come alive for you. So Spirit, thank you so much for those messages. Thank you so much for this beautiful reading. And the final question that we have is, what outcome can Group 1 look forward to? What outcome can they look forward to? What outcome can Group 1 look forward to? What outcome can Group 1 look forward to? Oops. Let me see if I can find that card. That just flew right down there. Okay. All right. So this is an interesting read here. We got 4 different wand cards. And wands are about creativity and passion and creativity. So you can look forward to a life with a lot of passion and creativity. However, we got the 10 of Wands and we got the 5 of Wands came out first, as well as the 7 of Wands. So these 3 cards, the 10 and the 5 and the 7 of Wands, are, I'm trying to think together, what's this message going to mean? And the 4 of Wands. Okay, the 2 and the 4, the 2 of Cups and the 4 of Wands here. There is a relationship that is going to be either started, begun, or enhanced because of this opportunity that's coming up. And it's going to be a relationship that potentially might lead to a marriage or a long-term commitment, or it could be a business relationship as well, that actually you might form your own company with a partner. The Four of Wands is sort of a celebratory announcement, and the Two of Cups is about a relationship. So there's going to be some relationship that's going to come out of this, or that's going to be improved or enhanced through this, that is going to lead to some sort of something that you want to announce to the world, whether that is, a marriage, or some other type of union, or a start of a family, or the start of a company, something along those lines. But this is not just being friends. This is like something that is going to be something worth celebrating and announcing to the world. However, we also got the 7 and the 10 and the 5 of Wands. And the 5 of Wands is about some confusion. The 10 of Wands is about a heavy burden to carry. And the 7 of Wands is about, it can be read a couple of different ways. It can be about kind of taking the high road, but it can also be about fighting against something that you're not quite sure what you're fighting against. And you're outnumbered, and you feel like you just aren't sure where it's coming from. So I feel as though with the confusion here and the heavy burden, and I believe that this 7 of Wands is probably talking about this fighting against something that you're not quite sure what it is you're fighting against. We've got some heaviness here. We've got a lot of confusion here. So I feel as though this is going to create some potential anxiety for you. And I feel like I need to get some additional cards here, because I'm just not sure what exactly the message is. Spirit, could you please provide some more clarity for the 7, the 10, and the 5 of Wands for us? More clarity for that. So we got the 6 of Wands was the first card that came out. Lordy Lord. Okay, so we got the 6 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. Okay, so I'm a little bit concerned that this relationship that's coming up is and with the 6 of Wands and the 10 of Swords, again, we're looking at the 6 of Wands is actually a celebration, but it's after a victory. The 10 of Swords is being harmed from the outside. So we've got this confusion, we've got this heavy burden, we've got this harm that's coming to you. So I don't know if this is specifically about this relationship or not, but there's going to be some trials that you're going to have to go through. There is definitely going to be some difficulty, and not just a little bit of difficulty. There's going to be some struggles. There's going to be some real struggles that you're going to have to go through. Okay, I see what the message is now. You're going to need to go through some struggles to get from where you are now to this place of your dream. But once you get there, that's going to lead you to this celebration, this relationship, and this, the celebration and the announcement type thing are all to do with this relationship. So I think what this is saying is that your dream might be not having to do with a relationship. It might be something just completely separate from that. But through the struggles of trying to realize this dream of yours, I believe that that is going to lead you to this relationship sort of unexpectedly. And this relationship is ultimately going to be what it is that fulfills the dream of your life, even though you may not realize that that's what it is. You might think that, I mean, these wands here, we've seen so many wands in this reading. We started out with the Page of Wands, which is the beginning of a journey that is passionate and creative. And so we've got a lot of passion and creativity here. Again, we've got 4, 5, 6 wands here. 6 cards of wands. So there's going to be just a great deal of passion and creativity, but there's also going to be turmoil involved with this. There's going to be struggle, there's going to be some turmoil, but you will persist through that. And through that, surprisingly, we have 5 wands. You're going to come to this relationship that you never expected. That's what this is about. You're going to go through this process of trying to realize your dream, of going through this blossoming and this growth and this struggle and this confusion. And through all of that, you're going to come out the other end with this beautiful relationship. And it is going to be, again, this card is a card of celebration after a great struggle. So that's what's going to happen. You're going to have this celebration after this big struggle that you have to go through. You will ultimately end up in this beautiful relationship. And this relationship may even be the relationship that you have with yourself. If you maybe don't have a lot of faith in yourself, you don't have a lot of self-confidence, you maybe have some shame that's been heaped on you when you were younger. There may be something that you just don't love yourself very much. So it could be that this relationship that is going to come about through all of this struggle might even be your relationship with yourself, really, really becoming whole. But it could also be a relationship with another individual, whether that be a new business that is your dream, or it could be, a marriage or a family. So that outcome, when we're doing a reading about the week, is obviously much more long-term than just this week. But this week is going to start things out, because you're going to realize that you have to just get out of where you are now. It's killing you, and you need to start something new. So I hope this reading has been helpful for you. It was really, really a cool reading. I loved this one. Even though this last message was a little bit challenging, but I think we got there. We do have an oracle card that we will take a look at. We got the North Node, which is about the future. North Node, about the future, which is very fitting, because, like I said, this reading actually is a lot farther, takes us a lot farther into your life than just this week. But let's take a look and see what else the book has to say about North Node. So, North Node. The North Node, or ascending node, represents a place the soul longs to be, where fate beckons. So, yeah, where your soul longs to be. Perfect. This is uncharted territory. You don't have a map. So we're going back to this confusion and struggle here. The North Node calls you to a territory that doesn't have a particular charge, and can either be an exciting exploration or start off a bit bland and become more satisfying as you proceed. The lunar nodes are the points on the zodiac where the moon's orbit crosses the ecliptic. When the moon, sun, and earth exactly line up here, a shadow mysteriously covers the sun or moon and creates an eclipse. The ancients thought a giant creature cast those shadows and referred to the nodes as the head and the tail of a dragon. The point where the moon heads north is called the North Node, the dragon's head, and calls you forward. So the action is think about where you'd like to be and what you'd like to be doing in 10 years and make this a beacon that guides you through times in between. Wow. Notice what that piques your curiosity. That's something that excites and beckons you even if it's unfamiliar. Practice beginner's mind and learn the basics. Some people may resist your change and tell you to stay in your lane, but that is just their discomfort talking. Advisors, friends, or employees who were once perfect for you may no longer be the companions you need on this fresh path. If they truly wish the best for you, they will eventually celebrate as your world expands. Could this be any more appropriate? We got the celebration again. If your field of expertise feels too small or confined, branch out and explore new territory. Along this path are people you need to meet and situations that push you out of your comfort zone and call you to your soul's growth. Your challenge is it can be very scary to leave familiar territory. Even people who love you may resist your evolution if it could pull you away from them. So the gift is new beginnings dawn and your fate awaits. This path may start out with uncertainty, but it will become more solid and delicious as you progress. So I don't think that could have been much more appropriate if we had tried. So, beautiful reading. I love this one. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you and spending some time with me today. I hope that you come back soon, and I wish you the best this week. Bye-bye. Hi, Group 2. This is your reading, the Velvet Malachite. I mentioned this to the first group, and I'll mention it to you as well. I just rewrote my spread that I use for this midweek messages. I kind of revised the previous spread that I had been using. I wasn't entirely happy with it, and I'm not sure I'm entirely happy with this one. It went okay the first group, but as I mentioned, it might be a little clunky in spots, but we'll try and get through it, and hopefully it'll work out just fine for you as well. So the first question that we have for Spirit is, what opportunities are presenting this week to Group 2, possibly disguised as challenges? So Group 2, what opportunities are presenting to you this week that may look more like challenges than opportunities? Okay. So we got the 9 of Pentacles. We got the 10 of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the 10 of Swords. Wow. So you guys have got a heavy week. You've got something kind of big going on. We got a couple of 10s, and neither one of them are particularly great. The 10 of Swords is about feeling harmed, and the 10 of Wands is about feeling burdened. So, or actually being harmed or burdened. So this week, you've got something that feels like a really, really heavy weight, and it is really sapping you. It is really, really sapping your strength. It's about all you can do just to kind of hang out. You barely have the energy to get through this week at all, and it's only Wednesday. So yeah, but there actually is there's actually a good deal of, this could be money. Whatever it is that you're working on might actually be going to return a great deal of money or abundance to you somehow. And or by getting through this, you're really going to feel accomplished and you're really going to just be relieved to have gotten all of this done, to have gotten through it, to make it through the week. And things are going to be looking up once you get through this rough patch. Spirit, can we have a little clarity, please? A little more clarification on the 9 of balloons. Why is this here? What is this telling us? Could you please expand on what the opportunity is here for group 2? Okay, so this may not be the right deck. This message is really kind of confusing me. This is saying that you've got some tough decisions to make. And that it's going to be required of you that you make these decisions pretty quickly. And you're not going to have a lot of time to work out any details, really, or think too hard about it. You're just needing to bite the bullet and just go with one way or the other. I feel like that has to do with whatever this is that is wearing you down so much, that is just beating you up. There may be something that you need to figure out about this situation, and it might be something that's putting someone at risk. So you may need to, you do need to make a quick decision. And you have to be decisive about it. But you're not going to have a lot of time to weigh your options. You're not going to have a lot of time to try out any possibilities or any options, or you're just not going to have a lot of time to just test out the waters. And the Queen of Cups, you're going to have to draw upon your inner strength. You're going to have to find a way to care about this situation. And you may care about this situation, but I feel like because of this pressure, this extreme pressure, this just tremendous, I mean, it might almost be like physical exhaustion that this is causing you. It might be tough, and especially with this 10 of Swords, if you're feeling just beat up by this situation, if it's just killing you to get through this situation, it might be hard for you to make a compassionate decision. But that's what this card is saying. And this card is saying that it's absolutely necessary that you make a compassionate decision, because in order to save the situation, to save whatever it is that might be harmed from this situation, there's something, if the situation goes south, someone or something can be really harmed. You can lose something permanently. You could there could be someone who gets harmed through this situation. Someone might need your help. Someone might really, really need you to make this decision to help them out. They might be incapacitated in some way, so they can't make the decision themselves. Or they might be someone who's just not capable of making this decision. It might be a child that's not capable of making the decision for themselves. So you're going to have to draw on every ounce of compassion that you have, even though you feel like you are just about ready to keel over. You've got nothing left. You are just drained and just dying through the situation. The situation is really, really hard. I am so sorry for you guys. But you've got to make this compassionate decision in order to save the day. So that's what this is telling you, the challenge that you're facing this week. And that if you do make this compassionate decision, things are really going to look up. I can't say that they're going to look up in a hurry. I mean, not like in that instance, but they're going to come around and they're going to heal themselves. Whatever the situation is going to heal, because you made a decision based on love and compassion. So that's the challenge that you're facing this week. Spirit, thank you for that message. How can Group 2 work with this challenge to best optimize the opportunity or the situation? Okay, again, this time we got the 10 of Cups rather than the Queen of Cups. Very, very similar energy here. You have got to pull in every ounce of love and compassion that you have to make this decision the best that you possibly can. You have got to cut through the confusion of the situation. And it is just purely the brain drain and the fatigue that you're facing, that you're dealing with, is causing a great deal of confusion. You can't think straight. You can't really, almost can't bring yourself to act because you're just so exhausted by this situation. But you have got to, you've got to get clear. You have to take an action, and an action that is, again, based in love. This card deals a lot with like the innocence of a child, which also, is going to be based in love. In order to optimize this situation, again, you have got to pull in every ounce of compassion that you have, to be able to cut through this confusion, to be able to just think straight, even if it's just see this lightning strike back here. Even if it's just a flash of inspiration, it's just a flash of knowing that and feeling this is what I have to do right now. That's the way you're going to optimize this situation, is by pulling in, remembering how much you care about this situation, and you'll have that flash. That flash will tell you, this is what I have to do, and then that's what you need to do. Just do that. So what is working against Group 2 this week, Spirit? What is working against them? What is it that is working against Group 2 this week? Okay, Group 2. Well, this is interesting. You've got a page and 2 kings, and I feel like this could be actual individuals. And we also got the World card. So the page and 2 kings, these are individuals who make up your world, basically. That's what this World card is saying, is that these individuals are the people who make up your circle, your immediate circle. This could be your family. This could be your coworkers. This could be your group of close friends, but this is the closest circle that you have. This is your world. This is the group that you depend upon. We've got the Page of Buckets. This is a very emotional youngster. So this very, very emotional youngster is working against you. We've got the King of Balloons, which is a man who's very, very pragmatic, a man who is just extremely practical. So this could be a father or a father-in-law or a boss who doesn't want you to spend a lot of money, perhaps. And then you've got the King of Brooms. So this is another, probably a man. This one is much more impulsive, much more passionate about things, perhaps someone who is maybe even possibly a little impulsive, childish, but someone who is not, and childish might not be a fair word, but this could be someone who is not very pragmatic. They're not really, they don't think things through very well. They just act impulsively. So these are all working against you. This overly emotional youngster, this possibly overly frugal male figure, older male figure, and this possibly impulsive male figure. So that's what's working against you this week. You've got some people in your immediate circle who are not being very helpful at this point. So what is working in Group 2's favor? Spirit, thank you for these messages, but what is working in their favor this week? Group 2, what's working in your favor? We still need one more card. Okay, maybe a couple more. All right, so the first card that we got is the Emperor. So yet again, we're talking about another male figure. This figure is someone who is very knowledgeable, very wise, very thoughtful, a definite father figure. So again, this might be your father, but this individual is someone who is thoughtful and loving and wise. So this is working in your favor. This individual you can turn to, you can ask them for help, and they will help you. We got the Six of Brooms, which is wands. Sorry, Six of Buckets. Excuse me, Nine of Buckets. Queen of Balloons and the Seven of Balloons. Okay, so the Nine of Buckets. What is working in your favor is that you have a reserve of compassion. You have a reserve of love. Whatever the situation is near and dear to your heart. And so even though it is just absolutely about ready to drag you under, it's still so incredibly important to you. This is likely you, this Queen of Balloons, which is the Queen of Pentacles. So you are a solid individual who knows how to make their world and the people in it comfortable. And so you have this reserve of love and compassion. You know how to make people comfortable. You know how to treat people so that they feel loved and they feel safe. So this is working for you, as well as having this individual who is very wise and very solid and very loving and capable in your corner. You've got the Seven of Balloons, which is the Seven of Pentacles. This is a lot of work that you've put into this situation. So you have got some groundwork that you have put in. So you're not starting just like in a completely unknown place. You've got some background that you've been in a similar situation before. And even though this is something that is just incredibly hard, physically, emotionally, mentally hard, you've been here before, or you've been to a very similar place before, so you've got that going for you. You understand the situation, even though it's just incredibly hard. You've done it before. A, that gives you some knowledge of how to get through it, and B, that gives you the understanding that you survived it before, you can survive it again. And that's what this card is about, that you have survived this before and you've been able to celebrate coming out the other side. So that's what's working for you. You know all of that. Thank you, Spirit, for those messages. What is Group 2's intuition telling them? Group 2, what is your intuition telling you about this situation? I need a different deck. Okay, Group 2, what is your intuition telling you about this situation? Okay, Group 2, your intuition. Okay, so we've got the Lovers and we've got the Sun card. So what your intuition is telling you about this situation is that the love that you have plus the love that you are given, gosh, this is love and happiness. This right here, this is love and happiness. These are the cards for love and happiness. So you know that even though this situation is just almost beyond living through, the love and happiness in your life is going to get you through this. And I feel like that's what this situation is kind of about. This is a situation that is so important to you, that means so much to you, that you've got to get through it. That's why you've gotten yourself to this point. That's why you've been able to survive this situation up until now, and you still will, because this is a situation that means so much to your love and happiness. It's critical to you that you get through this, and you will, because you know that you have this. You know that this, whatever the situation is, it brings you so much love and happiness. Whatever it is that is needing this attention. It might be an individual, it might be a job, it might be a possession, but whatever it is, you have so much love and it brings you so much happiness that you will get through this. You know that you will. You have to. That's what your gut is telling you. And there's no question about it. There's just no question. You're not even questioning it. You know that you can get through this. It's really hard, and there are moments that it just feels incredibly hard, but you don't even question that you're going to get through it, because there's no other choice. There's no alternative. You have to. And you don't even question that there's a possibility that you won't. So you know that you will. Thank you, Spirit, for those messages. And what is the best way for Group 2 to proceed? What is the best way for Group 2 to proceed? Okay. Well, I'm not entirely sure what this message is telling me here. We got the Justice card, we got the 10 of Pentacles, and we got the 9 of Swords. Okay, I do know what this is telling me. What this is telling me is that the universe has got your back. even though this is just ridiculously hard, this is balanced out by the fact that this situation is what creates your abundance, or this situation is part of what makes up your world. And you have poured so much love and care into this, whatever this is, that even though it's just incredibly hard, the universe knows that you have you've sacrificed so much for this situation that it will turn around, and it's going to it's going to turn around, and it's going to end up being something just incredibly beautiful and perfect and wonderful, because that's what's just, that's what's fair. You've sacrificed so much to create this world for those you love, for whatever it is that creates your abundance, that fulfills your world, that the universe is saying it's going to be all right, because it has to be, because you have done all of this, you've poured all of this in, you've sacrificed so much, so we're going to make it right. It will be fine, it will be good, it'll be right, because that's karma, that's what you deserve. So that's what is the best way to proceed, is just to know deep in your soul that this working out is the way it has to be. That's just what it has to be. So Spirit, can we have just a little more clarity on this, the way for Group 2 to proceed? Okay. So we got the 10 of Wands. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep carrying this burden, but let those who love you and who make up your circle nurture you. Let them take care of you some. They may not be able to take the burden from you, but they can definitely support you and lift you up. Let them nourish you however they can. We got the Magician, which means that you have whatever tools that you need to make this situation, to bring this situation to an end, to a close, that is this beautiful place of abundance, to create the situation that you know you deserve and that is coming to you. You have got the tools. You, beyond anyone else. There's no one else that has the tools to do this, because you not only have the capacity and the capability and the understanding to do this, but this deep love that you have, this deep commitment of this situation that you have, is the extra boost. It's what enables you to do this, and you're the only one that has this. You're the only one in the whole universe that has this combination of skill, of loyalty, of compassion, of knowledge. You're the only one who can do this, and you will do this. So that's how to proceed. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing what you need to do. You're doing what's right. Spirit, thank you for that message. And what's the outcome that Group 2 can expect? What outcome can they expect? What outcome can Group 2 expect, please? Okay. Okay, so we got the 5 of Cups reversed. So reversed, this is going to mean that there's more potential than regrets in this situation. There's going to be, once you get through this situation, you're never going to regret having gone through it. You have the strength that it takes to continue to move forward. We got the Strength card in the Chariot. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, which means you're going to be able to look back on this situation, and it's going to, you're going to have the fulfillment to know that you brought this situation to just a beautiful new start. So that's what you can expect from the situation. That's the outcome that you can look forward to. Yeah. So I am just feeling heavy-hearted for you right now, Group 2. But I wish I could take some of this burden from you, but obviously I can't. You are the only one. You're the only one that can do this. You're the only one that can get through this. But allow those who love you to support you. Let them help you however they can. They can't take this burden from you. You're the only one that can do this. But they can help you. They can give you some support. They can show you love. They can nurture you. So let them. So, wow. This is kind of a heavy reading, and I am sending you all the love. I've told in some of my readings before, I've mentioned that I infuse all of my readings with Reiki healing energy, and that is the case with this one as well. So allow that. All you have to do, if you wish to accept that energy, is just to say I accept, even in your mind, or just feel that. Open your heart, and it will come directly to you. So we did draw an oracle card ahead of time. Let's see what this card is. It's Imam Coeli, which is root, and I feel like that's what a lot of what you're going to be needing right now. You need that connection, that root, that strength. So let's take a look and see what this says. What additional messages we have for this. Imagine your spine extends down into the earth like a taproot, a strong central root under a tree, through the earth to a point on the sun's path below. Latin for bottom of the sky, the Imam Coeli, or IC, points to the memories and experiences that fed your first roots, your early home life, your family's traditions, and your biological and emotional heritage. Action. Look to the roots. Think about what makes you feel at home and secure, what creates sanctuary for you. Investigate the foundations and become conscious of the traditions and assumptions that underlie this situation. Lean into habits that help you feel secure and grounded. If you enjoyed your childhood, family traditions can help you feel safe and strong in a storm. If you grew up in chaos, you may crave the opposite, and so create your own quiet sanctuary. If you grew up around arguments, arguing with people at home may seem normal to you, but that may not be the case for your housemates. So you may need to learn to present your points in a more transformative, less combative way. The IC also speaks of deeper roots, the spiritual, religious, or philosophical underpinnings of your early life. Just as a fish doesn't notice the water it swims in, it can be hard to see the spiritual assumptions you swam within as a child. These philosophical underpinnings could give you a deep connection to spirit or leave you feeling restricted or judged. Whether they imbued you with unconscious habits or were that from which you rebelled, until you examine those deep roots, they will define your foundational paradigm. Your challenge, unconscious patterns from your personal history may underlie the situation and need excavation. Your gift, build roots of your own. Feel your spine extend like a deep taproot of a tree into the ground. Feel the strength of the earth pulsing up through you, holding you strong through any storm. So I feel as though that's what you really need right now. You need to be grounded. You need to be strong. You need to feel the strength of the earth holding you. So whatever it takes you to get grounded, whatever it takes you to feel that strength, if you need to, like it said, tap into traditions you had growing up that give you a sense of security and calm and peace and love, tap into that if you have that. If you don't have that, whatever you do have that gives you that sense of support and security and strength and love, tap into that. So I hope this reading has been helpful for you, and I'm so sorry that you're going through such a difficult situation, but it will turn around. You will turn it around, and the storm will pass. So thank you so much for being with me today. I'm honored to do this reading for you, and I really, really hope that it helps you, and I hope that you will come back and spend time with me again. So blessings for your week. Thank you. Bye-bye.